new online radio that makes you happy.
You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home.
Jafric Radio.
Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. All will be happy and gay. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
All will be happy and
Home on Jafric Radio.
you are always welcome home, welcome home.
Your online radio. The new online radio that makes you happy.
You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home.
Jafric Radio.
Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. All will be happy and gay. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
Hello, viewers. This is your favorite program, Home Sweet Home at Jafric Radio. Thank you so much, our cherished viewers and listeners, for always log in to this program. We just want to say thank you. We do appreciate you for your support to this program. And what we want you to do right now is just share this program with your friends and loved ones. Tell them that Home Sweet Home is on. So inform your friends by sending the link to them so that they can also join and be part of this program. Thank you so very much. We want to say sorry. This program delayed for about 30 minutes. And it was due to some circumstances beyond our control. And now everything is under control. So please forgive us. Thank you so much for doing so. Yes. Let me acknowledge my sponsors. And then we continue from there. Yeah, Bayside Modeling Agency is sponsoring this program. Bayside Modeling Agency is at Omotesando in Tokyo, Japan, here. And if you are a model or if you have talent that you want to turn it into business, all that we want to tell you is that just contact Bayside Modeling Agency wherever you are. You can contact us through email by info@bay-side.biz, or you can visit our website at www.bay-side.biz. Okay? bay-side.biz. All right. And also you can call us on this telephone number if you are in Japan, 3252. All right. very much. And one thing I want to tell you is that Bayside, Jafric Radio has an app now, all right? App that you can log in, and anytime that you want to visit our program, you can just come on. Yes. And if you are using the Apple phones, go to Apple Store and just type Jafric Radio. Then it will pop up, and then you click download, and then you get icon on your phone. So anytime you want to visit Jafric Radio, you just click the icon and you are on. And the same process if you are using Android, just go to Google Play or Google Store. Yes, and you can also go through the same process, and you get the icon on your phone or your PC, and anytime you can visit us. But we just want you to know that when you access this, you will not get the pictures. It's only the voice, okay? It's radio type. Yeah, so if you want to see the pictures, then you have to go to Facebook or Instagram or all the social media. Thank you so very much. And we have Turmeric Hotel. Turmeric Hotel is at East Legon in Accra. So if you are in Ghana and you want to spend home away from home, just visit Turmeric Hotel. And if you are outside and you want to travel to Ghana, yes, I think Turmeric Hotel is the best way to, spend your holidays. They have everything, intercontinental dishes. You will not regret when you go there. Right. Okay. So you can visit them at www.turmerichotel.com. Right. Visit them and you will see by yourself. Thank you so very much. Today, yes, we continue the topic that we did last week. Our panelists will join us as the program continues, but I have your favorite
This is
man
Jafric
here
Radio.
that I want to introduce to you first, and then we continue. Later, the lady will join us, and then we do justice to it. Okay? Thank you so very much. I have with me your favorite man that you love. I get a lot of comments that he's people's lover. Let me say that. Okay, so I have with me in the studio Mr. Fred Ijechi Mensah. Mr. Fred, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing me.
All right.
Yeah, everybody, how are you doing?
I think
happy to be back again.
the people, I got so many comments that people say, this man. I just don't want to go there. All right. So last week we talked about distance marriage. And in fact, we learned a lot from our resource person, Pastor Edu Jemfi. He just turned it to the Christian perspective, and he educates us a lot about it, that how to also put measures in place that will help us if we are waiting for our husbands and our wives, how to stay faithful and not to do anything that will decrease the trust that your husband or your wife have for you. And we also learned more about the effects and then the temptations accompany to this. So I know that everyone has learned a lot. Our videos are on YouTube, so you can visit at any time that you want to listen to this program. All right, Mr. Fred, coming straight to you. Yeah, topic for this week is distance marriage. And last week, we understood that if it is not like long distance only, but some people are in the same country, but due to the work schedules, some are being transferred to other places, far away from their homes. Yeah, and they live apart as husbands and wife. Yeah, and also we talk about the distance marriage, which some are living in abroad and others are in back home. And we saw that it's not a thing of the people in the western side, because some of them, if they are moving out, they move with their families. They don't leave their families behind. But always it's those from, let's say, Africa continent that seek greener pastures in abroad, but they just go to abroad and leave their family behind. So, Mr. Fred, what is your understanding on this long distance relationship or marriage? If you can tell this a little.
Well, yeah, once again, I want to greet everybody. When you talk about distant marriage,
Yeah,
can I speak to you?
any
Distance-
language is fine. Yeah.
Distant marriage, that means you're talking about couples living apart.
Apart, yes.
It could be intentional, or it could be circumstances.
All right.
Yes, yeah, but in all, distance relationship,
Okay.
the long-term effect is not good.
Good.
Yeah, so personally, I don't encourage it, but depending on the situation, the people try to adjust themselves into it. Yes, but the conclusion is just one: the long-term effect is not good, and I don't encourage it, and I'm not encouraging it to anyone. Yes. So that's my view.
Wow. Mr. Fred says it is not. It's due to the circumstances, but he did not encourage distance marriage. So, what do you think? If you have anything, you can just also send your comments. All right, send your comments. Write down that you are watching. The number is on the screen now. If you are outside Japan, just add +8. Okay, +8, and the number is 070. Oh, sorry. All right. Okay. Okay. Right, just check on the screen. Check on the screen, and the number is the 070 4231 9331. 070 4231 9331. Okay. Thank you so very much. All right. Okay, Mama Naomi, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Viewers, I told you that Mama Naomi will join us, and now she is with us right now. Mama, we are talking about distance marriage. So we have just categorized into two.
Okay.
Long distance, and then let me say internal. You are in the same country, but due to maybe the circumstances, you have been transferred to different place, and your family are also living in different place. Yeah, Mr. Dechi says it's not good to be encouraged. Yes. So, what is your opinion and at the same time your understanding?
Well, my opinion about that,
Mm.
when we talk of maybe the same country but living apart, well, it depends on the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you have discussed it and you feel that if you live apart, though in the same country, you live apart, it will be okay, and you have come into an agreement. Okay, that is it. It has its advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
Every decision that you take concerning that, it has its own advantages and disadvantages. But
Okay.
as I said, it depends on the decision of the family, how you guys have planned it to be. Yes, and when we talk of the long distance one too, it's also, before you not just start and just live like that, you would have discussed it with your wife or with your husband that maybe because of this I need to go out there and look for a better living
Yeah.
or something like that. And also that one, it comes with its advantages and disadvantages. So if the the couple discuss it and come into agreement, they have to deal with the disadvantages it comes with.
My name is
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mama. So, can you tell us some of the advantages? Let's, focus on the advantages, and then later we come to the disadvantages of being apart.
Okay, so maybe what is one of the reasons why we get married? For companionship, for friendship. Yeah, there are so many reasons why we get married, apart from maybe for procreation.
This is
and
Jafric
other
Radio.
things. Yes, it take away loneliness and all those kind of things. So some of the disadvantages that comes with the long distance is that thing is not going to be there. You'll be lonely. You miss your husband or your wife. The help that the person is supposed to give you immediately, you will not get it that way. But the advantages may be that maybe where you guys are staying, maybe cost of living or things are very hard and you need to seek for greener pastures or better way of living. So that one is going to pave way for you to enhance your life in so many things. Yeah, so when it comes to that aspect, let me say that is part of the advantages that it comes with it. Yes, maybe you are going there for education. You are going to gain knowledge, you are going to gain a lot of things, experience, enlightenment, and those kind of things. So when it comes to the advantage, these are some of the, based on the reason. This is
Great. Mr. Deche, the disadvantage and advantages of this. I think some of us have some personal experience to this thing, and we will chip in some.
of course, I have it. Yes, I also have it. Yes, of course. You are
All right.
You are right.
So, Mr. Deche, can you help out with
Well-
some of the advantages and the disadvantages of, being separated from your family?
What me they mean I mean who much advantages of it.
Okay.
No, I cannot think of it. But the only thing that could be, let's say, I don't see anything good about it because you can say onipa no course. This time there are conditions that even if you're going to study, you are permitted to come with your spouse. So alongside, you can come with her to where you are. Well, for some time, maybe want to mean call at once.
Yeah,
but
that is it.
After some time, no, a bit to me.
I join.
Yes, and that space near the buying side. Well, for me now, consider it like the circumstances did not permit you to come together.
Okay.
But and yes, there are advantage in long distance. Me, I don't say it. Well, you just delay your family planning. If that's advantage, I don't know.
It says as family planning.
Okay. It
Well-
says as family planning. All right. I
Yeah.
didn't thought of it.
And maybe that's the only thing you can think of that you can delay it, or so you can think individually. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Distance marriage.
As for family planning, that one too is very debatable. If the couples are willing to, do the family planning, that one too is, so maybe.
Yeah, but it's when you are together, you sometimes misses your own time. You can plan together when you are together, when you live together, but you can miss it because you see each other every day.
Right.
So it will come to a point, it will be like, what you call no reason agreement. That is, you feel like it's okay when it comes, and it comes. We can just go ahead with our lives. But when you are apart, then you can keep to yourself that let's keep to the promise that we've made. Due to the studies you are in now, or due to what I'm doing right now, or the circumstances that brought us to live apart. Okay. So let's keep to that before, we come to begin a family. That can serve as maybe the only advantage I can see in it. Otherwise, I don't see.
You don't see.
Yeah. That one too. I think sometimes you need some space to rethink about yourself and those kind of things.
Okay.
So if those ones comes in, it's okay. When it comes to like the education aspect, yes, we have a lot of this thing openings that your family could join you, but it's not immediately, as you rightly said. In my case, maybe when you travel,
it could not be immediate because there are cases that you can even move from the day one. Okay. You can be together.
Okay. And there are some cases. In my case, it was after 6 months. After 6 months, you can invite your family to join you. But with that one too, the only thing maybe they will do is about the papers, maybe eligibility and those kind of things. But the other expenses, you have to take care of it.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you feel you are okay to do all those things, that one, the way is clear for you to bring your family to join you. But you have advantages and disadvantages, but if you look at it, in my case, maybe the disadvantages were more.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have missed your husband, or you've missed your wife, you missed your family. There are so many dangers involved, and if before you take such a step, if you don't put things right, many things might go wrong. So many things might go wrong. And most of the time to maybe the distance also pave way for so many things to happen. Small, I don't know whether it's a stress that brings that, or too much missing of each other brings that. Little quarrels.
That's right.
Sometimes maybe your husband or your wife will call you, but at that moment, maybe because of time difference, or maybe you are engaged somewhere, you are not able to pick the call, and that one becomes a problem.
That's true.
So like small things generate into things that are not supposed to bring disagreement. So with this, some of these things, if care is not taken, you see that the devil chip in so many things to distort the whole thing. So it is a whole lot of things that a whole lot of things goes into this about this distant marriage. It needs careful planning. Of course. If not, so many things, because the man is prone to a lot of temptation. The woman is also prone to a lot of temptations, especially when it comes to we Africans. Maybe as a wife, your husband has traveled out, you are behind, all eyes are on you. They feel that as for you, you are sitting on money, because the ones we know that your husband has traveled abroad, then it means as for the money, everything is at your disposal. I went through that big time.
Others even think that there is a tree in abroad
yes,
that produces money.
Apart from
all
the people who will come asking for money, asking for assistance, then the bad ones that are coming to rob you, to kill you, and those so many things got involved. It is only by the grace of God.
By the grace of
that
God.
we're able to come out.
Yeah.
So It's a whole lot of things.
Okay. Before Mr. Jichi comes in, I will ask this. You said sometimes you may need some distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in what ways that one also help?
Well,
As-
to how will I say? Maybe it gets to a time the couples will feel they are too into. How will I say it?
Familiarity.
Familiarity have become yes. So it means they take so many things for granted.
Okay.
So in such case, maybe yes, you need some space
Some
to
space
rethink
for yourself.
about
Okay.
to rethink about your whole to redirect your course.
Wow. Redirect your course. All right, Mr. Fred.
Yeah.
Do you
Like
agree
I
with
said, no?
Mama?
Let me correction me.
Okay.
First place. When it comes to only Africans do this, no. I want to correct that. It's not only Africans.
About
Okay,
the
so
money.
Distance
Distance.
relationships, no.
Also, it's happening in.
It happens in almost every.
Okay. Right.
I mean, people that I've known, not only
You know,
Africans.
it happens, but how we think that once your husband or your wife has traveled out, you have money always.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
that's
So
the
maybe
sort of
I
things
think
people
it's-
attach to it.
Yeah.
That's the mentality people attach to it.
That's right.
And I think so. The distance marriage, it comes in whereby the domicile addresses me as separate.
Okay.
Like say, or can say, maybe you need to take some time to rest or be separate for a while. If you are still in the same address and you separate for a while, we don't call that a distance relationship.
Okay.
But distance relationship is whereby you are living completely apart, different addresses or different domicile. Yes. And now to my friend say distance marriage.
Marriage. Yeah.
For me, in a medical I don't see the advantage in it. Disadvantage is in the very. Temptations are number one.
Number one.
Yes. Temptations are number one. And on both ends, you suspect one another. So, or I didn't know baby or not be mountain or be so I'd be mountain. These are some of the things that can a bit more on your stress.
Okay.
So, maybe Obia at Tiho, and you'll be having so quick, baby. But not you say, to say, or your crowd name. It might miss me quay away. So, say to phone, a bassa, it to me a resort to so many things.
Yeah.
Be a miss make of already SCNI. But to share a profit for ya, Obinsu adventure says, so long as the love is there or the heart remains undefiled.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. And beside that, obit me in your pay.
Okay.
My heart is for him. He's in different country, but my heart is for him, or my heart is for her. But my body there, I can use it anyway.
Oh yeah, it's happened. Even
Yes.
I saw some videos on the American military people goes out for a very long time before they come home. Others come home and meet their wives with other men. And the woman, I didn't know that you are coming at this time. And I said, whoa, hold on. You didn't know he is coming, but he's your husband. I mean, you don't need to bring another person into your matrimonial home. But they think that they have control over their bodies. They love you, but that is their body, and they can use it for anything that they want.
Yes.
Which is
So
something that...
imagine, say, as long as the heart remains pure and undefiled for him.
Which one is undefiled?
Well, that's what they think.
The love
So
has
is-
not been...
No. Is the
But-
heart detached from the body?
Ah,
Without
that's
the heart,
it.
can the body live?
Well,
Wow.
that's what I'm saying. Because Tamana made more studio. Now we do a lot of magazines, catalogs, and all sorts of things. And when we're doing now, we're supposed to edit, especially the text part of it.
Okay.
Now you read a lot of comments, and this is what a lot of people say. Japan Hano, a magazine for advertising people's wives. Yes. Magazine, I say,
It's good that you came.
the advertising, even not Japan, America, Europe, magazine, the magazine, the end say, advertising people's wives. And it encouraged them to go out and have fun with different men and different women.
Without the knowledge of their husbands, that magazine, the husbands don't know about it.
Some don't know, some are aware, but they just cannot act. So, and see a distance relationship. Say, or baby is in that situation, it gives them more chance to do that. And as Obama maybe also asking more, and we give the man more chance to do that. You bet me so many examples.
Exactly.
RSC. So, distance relationship, no, first thing, no, that kind of mistrust, the boom in the first place.
Yeah, because a lot of incidents has happened. And yeah, so
there's always going to be mistrust.
Exactly.
And the long-term effect, and yet good.
It's not.
Yes, because of the mistrust that will come in. And even one can say in your ordinary relationship, when mistrust comes in, it do even say, what happens? You begin to sort of, pull yourself out of the relationship gradually. And when it comes to spouse, that mistrust come out, the situation gets worse. So it gets worse and worse because all the time now we suspect the other one.
So, Mr. Fred, in a situation of mistrust, how do we deal with that situation as once we are still, apart from each other? What do we do to, correct that?
Okay, so the dickness kind circumstances and situation in a mom as
a drift, yeah.
Yes.
Part.
You're living apart because of the situation. And when the mistrust comes in, it's a matter of calling your spouse again.
Okay.
Then you talk seriously about this issue. So I say, and no uncle, you can call in. Tell me more and say no man for you know. Now what you make say more and be a most swear say.
This is Jafric Radio.
Stick to one another.
Yeah.
So and you want to go back to that statement and make it during the time you were making the vows, So I come to say. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Well, come on, but say distance anything a man.
Oh, sorry.
A man is suspect to her. Then this is how you can do.
Thank you, Mr. Fred. Mama Naomi, the same question will come to you. How can we deal with it when the mistrust? I think you've gone through for like 6 months or 1 year, right?
Yeah.
So you have little experience in this. How will you manage to deal with it? Especially, it's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
When the phone call comes and you are not at the spot to pick the phone, and then later, why I called and maybe you fall asleep. So things like this, how do we correct them? How do we?
Communication.
Right.
Communication. You just need to talk about it. You have to talk about it. And you need reassurance. You have to reassure each other of your unconditional love. And another thing is we should be patient.
Right.
We shouldn't jump into conclusion easily. Because maybe that the time that you are calling, maybe the person is at a place he or she cannot pick the call. Or maybe anything could happen. Anything at all could happen. So we need the patience. We need to talk each other and reassure each other about our unconditional love. And try to always listen to understand why my wife or my husband behaved the way he or she did. We need to be patient and avoid this petty annoyance, anger, misunderstanding over little things. We need to forgo those kind of things.
Wow.
We need to be patient, communicate, reassure each other of our unconditional love.
That's great. Patience. That one, it's patience comes to play a lot in distance marriage. It's very true. Sometimes I don't know whether due to the stress or what, you see the heat that comes up even when you miss a call.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Right. So patience also can, and sometimes there are a lot of misunderstanding.
So many.
Yeah, because maybe the face-to-face thing is not there, that the person might not see your body language and see that what the person is saying, you've understand it perfectly or what. Sometimes it's like,
It's a whole lot of
That
whole lot of
misunderstanding
things.
is always going to be there.
But maybe sometimes how we handle such misunderstanding, you see.
Well, it would demand you trusting yourself again, but it doesn't mean say it's washing away or it's taking away that mistrust that has occurred. It's a matter of communicating with one another effectively. Maybe most vows, most can be, but the mistrust there. Once you're not living together, it's always going to be there. It means I'm together cry now. Look, it's common thing within couples. There's always mistrust that causes. Sort
This
of
is Jafric
stress
Radio.
with one another. But the moment I'm making separately, I'm making a distance far away, any mistrust in it's always going to be there. Now, also a word distance relationship, mostly, those who come back to remarry again, and I say they are yet successful, maybe it's not up to 50%.
right,
Yes,
right.
yes.
It needs a lot of work.
A lot of work.
A
And
lot
most
of
them
work.
ends up in divorce.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean to me, say me come young, some personal experience with people around me and people that I know.
Okay.
Yes, distance relationship, they end up in
divorce.
Wow.
Wow.
Not only Africans, so
Oh, okay.
the Japanese, Americans, whites. I mean, I've seen a lot of them. I've got most friends. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So it's not
Only
African
Africans.
thing.
No.
I thought Africans we traveled a
No.
lot.
There is
Yeah,
one.
but-
Make me excuse me if I have to. One Japanese classic singer, Bio Akruma, say, were very famous. Me money, but they were very famous. Not a very good friend.
Okay.
And he called Italy. Now before we call Italy, no, the fancy was say some be worry. Fancy the sponsor ni BB no coin. To call him after some time about back say, no more worry. And she went back again, study opera things.
Okay.
Could you believe some perform worry now in first a bit make family no? The woman come back after 4 years. Or by obviously and family. Anything come on man, as some kind say or prepare say or we die. Are they? These are some of the things. Mistrust has taken place. On any community. Now you don't know who started, whether from the woman or the man. Or by after a third time, which was 6 years into their relationship, completely they divorced.
Oh.
Woman called back to Italy and in 6 months. It is worry or him be
Oh.
You see, or a very famous opera singer in Japan.
Okay.
Japanese, not an African, Japanese.
Okay.
And he born in some I don't know. So okay, then means I say I have to advise myself.
Yes.
And you see, say distance marriage in there, and yet only Africans. White, I know white people. So I'm doing a breaky sir. And in the long time effect in there, believe me, it's not good.
It's not good.
Yes, and most of them ends up in divorce.
And unfaithfulness.
Unfaithfulness is there.
Faithfulness.
Like I said before, Obi Rajin said, once what we want to say, well, come on, your heart is undefiled. That's the way they use.
Yeah. Your heart is undefiled, but your body can be defiled.
Yes.
This is the first time I'm hearing this,
Well, that's what they use.
Wow.
You see?
Wow.
It's not but but don't say BB you can't say when you who any time. And the opposite is what? When you so na
Now your time.
and when you so na to me see.
Okay, that's one is true.
The heart is undefiled for the man who is living somewhere, but the body is here
Defiled.
with the man who is close to you, and you're close to you gradually.
Yeah, it's just.
And can you love somebody without your body? can you love your husband without your body?
It depends
People-
on how
yes.
they understand love. Yeah.
Depends on how they understand. that.
Yeah.
I think in short, distance marriage and as a distance relationship, there, I'm telling you, the effect is wrong. It's not good.
Yeah.
Yes, and yet, and what
Yeah.
can be also.
Yeah, so as he said, the prolonged ones.
The prolonged ones.
Is really, really dangerous. I had
Yeah.
a friend that one, it wasn't even prolonged. As the pressure was coming, she took certain steps.
Oh.
Yes, that she didn't discuss with the husband about taking some loans and those kind of things with the intention of paying back. But finally, the husband got to know of that she took a loan without making him aware, and the husband was furious. And the kind of words that the husband used on her, it affected her for years.
Wow.
It wasn't long. Finally, they came together, but when the playback, when she plays back
Recall on those things.
it really affected her for even when finally the door opened for her to come enjoy the husband. That joy of coming to meet somebody you
Yeah.
have missed wasn't there. How she came, like it affected, so it took a long time before she was able to overcome it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so many things. It's so many things. So the prolonged one
The
really,
prolonged
really
ones,
so
5 years,
dangerous.
6 years. We will come back to the temptation aspect. I think last week we just talked about it, but this time around we'll also go deep. The temptation aspect of it, we will come back. So we have a lot of comments right now, and I just want to read some of it. Oh, this one is from oh boy Steve-O. Hey Steve-O. He said nice program. And then we have Yao Kids. He said hello Jafric Radio. And the Rock Adams say hi Jafric Radio's Freddy. Yeah, okay, it's your friend. Okay, it's from Legon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And also, I have my darling is on this line. He said to me, distance marriage will fail if there is lack of trust between the two. Be honest about your concerns and fear about your separation. All right. So this is coming from my own, the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh.
Nice.
Yes, Elder Fuku, God bless you so much. And I have one from a man who is now, I don't know whether he is suffering from missing his wife so much. Now this topic has become something for him, and I don't know. And that man his name is Mr. Asiel. And let me tell you what he has wrote. Mr. Asiel said, I think sharing your expectations about being apart from one another will also help. Also share your expectations about being together again. It is vital that you both are committed to one another and truly believe in your marriage. And you come to the other point, be open about your separate social activities. Secret breeds mistrust, and when your partner knows that you are what you're doing,
This is Jafric
feel
Radio.
more connected to you, even from far away. And then lastly, he said long distance marriage will fail if there is lack of trust between the two couples. Yes, I think, and some couples find that long distance marriage is easy than other long distance relationships because they worry less about the possibility of breaking up. Instead, they focus on what they do, or what they do share, okay, and how much they care about each other. All right, this man is suffering too much from separating apart. Okay, and he brought this, so it is from his own heart, personally, that he's coming up with this. Okay, so mommy, looking at what we have said, we before we read this messages, I promised that we'll go to the area where there is a lot of, let's say, temptations, especially the part of men. Women can, I don't know, but nowadays women, things are changing. But at first, women were supposed, they are the ones that always hold themselves. Yeah, but nowadays things.
This is Jafric
changing.
Radio.
As women, our actions comes from what we receive from men.
Okay.
Yeah, so if your wife would cheat on you as a husband, it depends on you, the man. It depends on you. So whether your wife will cheat or not, greatly it depends on the man. I'm talking as a wife and a woman. I don't know about you, the man. If for you to cheat, greatly depends on your wife or what, I don't know. But in our case, I think if your wife will go and cheat, maybe you made her to go that way. Maybe most of the time you see that men are much focused about well, they said the man is the head of the home.
Okay.
The man needs to sweat before he needs to work before he can eat.
He is the one that has to feed
The
the family.
breadwinner. So
Right.
because of that, most of the time the men focus all their attention into making the money.
Okay.
And you see that
Work,
work, and they neglect the other aspects of their responsibilities. When you come to women, we are also emotional. We need you. We need your eyes. We need your
sweet talks.
ears. We need your mouth. We need your hands. But most of the time, they only give us the money, taking away their body, their eyes, their ears, their nose, their hands away from us.
But mommy, at this time, they are not there to touch, to see, to watch, to except the money that you can receive. So in this case, what would you do?
Yeah, so those are some of the things that we try to allow the devil to chip in. We have unguarded our hearts.
Okay.
We concentrate so much on other things, leaving the home ajar open for many other things to come in. And you know, so many things come into place. And if a woman, you find somebody who tries to listen to you, give you a listening ear, and like you try to share your emotion or something, and the person try to just listen and care, your attention, everything move to that person.
Okay.
So like it's everything on our part is how if a woman will misbehave, mostly it comes
It's how
from
we
the
receive from men.
Yes.
You know,
it
we
comes from,
always at the receiving end as women. So much for him, much receive is much given, or
For-
much.
for
There is a verse in the Bible.
for he who much is given, much is expected.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if you receive much, it means that something could have also come up.
So when it comes to this aspect, as there was one husband who was sharing his experience, that there was a time he was so busy with work. So one time he came home. But before he comes home, everybody is asleep.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's the first person to leave home and those kind of things. So there was one time he said he was eating and he realized a picture. And when he saw the picture, it's a family of 4, 2 girls, 2 daughters, the wife and he himself. So at the picture, he saw that the mother and the children are together.
Okay.
Then the man is somewhere
Far away
small
from them.
from the picture. So it don't know what does this mean. So he asked and said, yes, this is the only people she knows are her family members. Yes, he know daddy is part, but daddy is somewhere. They don't see him. They don't see him, and that thing really, really affected the girl. But thank God, the man came back to his senses to know that yes, there is something wrong.
Right.
Women, it is little things that push us to do the unexpected.
Okay.
Little things. You yourself, you not know that maybe this thing, your wife needs you around. Maybe just
But
a listening.
that's how the communication also come to
This
play.
is Jafric
If
Radio.
you are in that situation and you think that you don't feel good, you just have to voice it out.
The person is not there for you to talk to. You want the person to give you the listening ear, to listen about how I feel. Or maybe husbands or wife, do you have a time in your life as your time that you try to how will I say
Talk about yourself or
yes
something.
how will I evaluate it?
Oh, okay.
Yes, like evaluation. Let's try to talk about how far to evaluate your marriage. How are things going? How are you feeling in this marriage? Is everything going right? Do we have time to talk about those things? Yes, because maybe your wife has something she really wants to share with you. Your husband has something he really wants to share with you, but we don't have time for each other. We are chasing our own
Material things.
Yes.
And leaving the importance out.
The woman is so much consumed in keeping the home, the children. The man is so much consumed into making money. So like everyone is doing his or her own thing. Even during weekends that you are supposed to be there, he's going to the gym, or he's going with his to take care of his friends,
Other projects.
other sporting activities.
That's right.
Yes, the woman too is so much into taking care of the children, the home. The time that you are supposed to be together, you are doing your own thing, your own private thing. So it means you don't have time for each other together. If there are children, you need to make time in such a way that you, the husband and the wife, even if it is a day, once a week.
So mommy is talking about those who are living together, but it looks as if
they are distant.
They are distant.
Yes, there are couples that are living together, but
they are lonely.
They are the most lonely, even more lonelier than the people who are having that long. So even the distant marriage we are talking about, people could be living together, but they are distant from each other.
Wow. I heard someone say it's common in Japan. Because
it is very common.
Japanese minds are work.
And I have
work
one
all the
student
time.
of mine. One student of mine told me that as for her, she doesn't want to see the husband with the eyes. The husband goes to work early in the morning and comes back in the evening, and she always tries to make sure she goes to bed before the husband comes.
Wow.
They are living together, but he said, I don't want to see him, I hate him. He says with that, I hate him. Meanwhile, they are under the same roof. She will cook, yes, she does everything, but she said, I don't want to see my husband with my eyes, so I always try to avoid him. So this one, is it not? It's more than a distant marriage,
This
right?
one, they need much counseling.
Well, I don't know where you're basing your point on.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you're coming from.
Please,
But
Mr. Jechi, bring your idea.
I hope, and I'm hoping the topic is not deviated.
That's right.
Yes, we're talking about the distance.
The
so
distance.
we have to talk about the vacuum that has been created by both of you. What caused that? You see, but for a man's action to sort of cause a woman to take a different course, I disagree with that.
Okay.
Yes,
We're
because
talking
Why?
about the disadvantages of distance.
yeah, but it doesn't mean the man is somewhere. So that vacuum created, the woman can resort to things to satisfy her own interest or That's what I disagree with. It's not only from the men. So we have to talk about the vacuum that has been created by that distance.
Yeah, so I was talking about women. So that was why I was pushing it that I don't know about you men.
You
So
men.
so you also
Okay,
talk
so
about
Mr.
yours.
Fred,
Yes.
bring men's opinion
So what are
about
some of the
this.
things that makes
see-
you to do the unexpected when there is a distance?
Nothing will make you do the unexpected.
Okay.
You see, but whereby there is mistrust, this is everywhere and everybody. There's mistrust in the relationship. Then both ends result to different action. You know, but you see, we have to look at it this way: when you have children, or when there's a complete family there, that can serve as a trust between the man and the woman. For example, if a man is living in a different country, and the woman is somewhere too with the children, maybe the children there can serve as a reliable thing, or a
This is
trust for the
Jaffrick
man
Radio.
to be patient and wait until when he is able to reunite with his family again.
Okay.
But to say that that vacuum should make the man maybe get into different relationships, well, the case is not always like that. You see, the case is not always like that. And don't forget that although you are living apart, we've talked about the trust. You see, if you both trust yourself and you believe in one another, you can stay for the length of time that you live apart. That is when you trust yourself. You see, and when there are children too in the relationship or in the marriage, both of you can, use the children as kind of the trust between you the two. Because of children, you cannot do the things that you're not supposed to do. You see, yes. So it's not just the men will do something for the women to take action. For that one, I'm not sure that is correct. So we have to look at the vacuum that is created there.
All right.
You see, so my point is, whereby there are children, it can serve as a trust for both the man
The
and
man.
the women. Yes, because you have children with your wife that you've left somewhere, so you don't have to misbehave. Otherwise, it will have effect on your children.
Okay.
So somehow you can stay.
You can stay.
Yes, and wait until you unite with.
Yeah,
Yo.
and I got a prompt that in Japan here it's going on, living in the same house, the same room with your spouse, but yet it looks like they are far apart. Yeah, and he said in Japanese where they call it katei nai bokyu, bekyu, katei nai bekyu. They are living together, but it looks as if they are separated.
in the home.
Yeah, in a home.
Yeah, you see, excuse me, I don't want to say this, but this is a culture that you cannot use it as an example for all cultures
Okay.
or all people.
Okay.
You see, these are people, of course, there are good ones too there, but there are people who don't have much fun in ordinary relationships. For them, some people marry for the sake of, procreation, for the Japanese people. So when they get married and maybe the siblings or the children have been produced, for some of them, they don't see the reason why they should still be together. I get my point.
Yeah.
So it's kind of their way of doing things. It's kind of their culture. You see? So people like this, you cannot use their way of doing things to compare with people from the Western society or the Africans.
But do you know that even we, those that have even come to this country, is it that we are learning from their culture?
No, we're not learning from them.
Because maybe, yes, their culture is about work. And we have husbands in this country. We have wives in this country that are working in their companies. And so for them,
This is Jaffrick
work
Radio.
is number one.
Yeah.
Family, maybe in our case, family is
It's
number
number
one.
one.
Let me tell you the reason.
Okay.
It's not that work is their number one, but for them, of course, if you don't work, how are you going to
Take care of
take care
your
of your
family.
family? That's their mentality.
Okay.
And anybody, before you can make money, you have to work. That's their mind. So, and like in every society, a man has to provide for the family. not the woman. So for a man in the family, for them, a man has to make money, work and make money. And by making money, he is working. You see? So it's not that their priority is just working. No.
But it should be holistic. You shouldn't put your attention at one place, neglecting the other.
Excuse me, sir. They've not neglected them, but it's a kind of culture. Here, most marriages, especially from the olden days, it was arranged. You see, it's not like in our society that maybe I can go out, tap into the woman that I love, befriend her for some time, then I will introduce her to my family and say, this is the woman I want to marry. So you can see that we already have that kind of relationship, from the beginning. This society, it wasn't there for some time. So everything was arranged. And, arranging for people to get married, it's like they are married for the purpose or for the sake of procreation.
Okay.
You get my point? So you can see that the foreplay or those kind of things are not there. They were arranged. And maybe the arrangement did not take much time. 3 months, 6 months, then they are together. You see? So they are not used to.
All right.
It doesn't mean they don't know. They know, but they are not used to that kind of, playing with your spouse, keeping that kind of platonic relationship for some time before they get married. So that's how you see them like they don't pay attention to the family. No, they do. Yeah, but they're not very much used to.
Then it means something.
It means something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is missing, and especially being a culture, and it's not helping. We don't have to encourage that.
Yes, we shouldn't have to copy it.
Exactly, because there are other people who are also copying. I know one boss, and he doesn't even have time for himself.
You see,
every time work on Saturdays, gym, onwards he has another project that he has to take care of, leaving the wife alone and the children. So the home is like
Something
the woman
else.
she's always at the home front, and the man.
This is Jafric
nowhere
Radio.
to be found.
I think we need
So
to.
we need to just talk about
have
this
to.
seriously,
Do you
so
know-
that those who are, opportune to have your wives and children around you, you don't make them live like you are living in Ghana and another one is in Japan here.
yeah, you see, we are kind of drifting away from the topic.
But I think it's true. What you are saying is true. We are talking of distance marriage.
Yes.
And I from the beginning I said some people long distance is where the other are at different place, and then we have those in the same country, but because of conditions and situations
Different
of work,
domiciles.
they are in
and
different. And now Mama Naomi has also brought in that even others living together, but
And
there is
distance.
still distance in their marriage because they cannot. Communicate well. Nothing is working.
They don't
like
prioritize things.
exactly.
Right.
And so
Well, that
I think
kind of
in
relationship
a way,
is a troubled one.
Do you know?
Do
Do you know what we are talking about, Uncle Fred? Everything for a problem to come up in this distant marriage, it starts from the beginning.
Okay.
Maybe if some of these things that we are talking about, if they were not done right, when the distance comes, it is going to
They
be
would just
more.
they would do, but
Yeah, because maybe you are even together and you don't have time for your family. You don't have time. Maybe on the weekends that you need to have time, or maybe find a time to try to communicate with each other, a time alone to communicate with each other as couple, a time for the family. You don't do those things whilst you were together under one roof, and something happened that you have traveled out or a distance has been created. How are you going to do this? If maybe at home when you were together, you were doing all those things, you always have time to communicate. The communication level was built up, your trust was built up, your togetherness, your oneness was so much intact. Those things, if you go out, if there is a distance, I don't think there will be much problems for you to tackle. Compared to those that maybe you are under the same roof, but your mind is somewhere, your wife's mind is somewhere, the children are somewhere, and a distance should come in. What will happen?
Right.
Everything starts from the beginning. Starts from somewhere.
Yes. Gradually.
So we need to tackle this
but
one.
Sometimes it's not like that. You may be living with your husband peacefully, and let's say for your husband to be able to take care of the home well, he has to travel, or the wife has to travel, so that things they can better the family. The two of them agreed, and one traveled. Take a long time, like 5 years, 6 years, without meeting each other. Mommy, we just want to talk about the temptation in this, because it's happening. And a lot of divorce people, about 75% divorce cases is as a result of this. Yeah, that's why Home Sweet Home, we've made it a point to talk about it, so that we will put things in order. And you can also put things in order in your marriage, so that when these things happen, you know what to do. Yeah. So others, they don't have problem of being together and distancing this thing, but they have traveled, and he has been there for 5 years. Others here, and temptations are set in. A lot of temptations.
Temptations. So many temptations come in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And last week we talked about it, that even others are tempted to marry for in order to stay in a country that to get their papers right.
One, it is happening.
It's happening everywhere.
Should I bring it to you, the men who have been going astray on
no,
that?
I'm not an example of it, so.
You are not. I'm not talking to you. I'm not
it's not personalized. We are talking
no.
of the general thing that is happening.
Men and women.
Men
when
and
it comes
women.
to that, no, I'm not talking.
Well, it's not only men do that. Women too do.
But
Women too do.
percentage. When you talk
The
about percentage.
Okay, men is higher.
Higher than
I can accept that. You see, for that I can accept it.
Yeah.
Of course, some men do that, just to regulate their stay in overseas countries. In that case, you can say mostly the high percentage are people from Africa.
Africa, exactly.
Yes, for that one I can agree with you. Well, in a way it is okay, because without the regulation of their documents, they probably couldn't find good jobs. They couldn't get into the society well. They couldn't learn some things.
Did you say it's okay to marry?
No.
That is his opinion.
No,
so
I'm
just
just saying.
wait.
Listen.
Let's Mr.
That we
Jeff.
said people do that for the purpose of regulating their stay.
Yeah.
Or regulating their documents.
Okay.
See, that's why I'm saying it could be okay.
Right.
Because if they don't do that, but you see, don't forget that before they do that, they probably would have communication with their spouse back home. Make sure they seek their consent to do that. You see, and most people, when they have regulated their documents, they sort of got into divorce with their wives in that country. Then rather go back home and bring their wives. It's a kind of crude way of doing
Others
things.
also doesn't do that.
Selfish.
But that one too, it's
selfish. It's a crude way.
Yeah.
But for people
Breaking
seeking
the hearts of
green pastures,
other
especially
women.
people from, like I said, people from Africans, mostly do that. You see, that's why I'm not encouraging it. But if for the purpose of regulating your stay, well, sometimes you can say it's okay, depending on how you are doing it. There's something they've termed it colloquially constitutional marriage.
Okay.
And it's mostly from Africans. It's colloquial way of using the word. They do that, just to regulate their stay. Some people are not
It
agreeing
means
with
they
it.
don't love the women. They
Of
just
course.
need
Their
their
regulations.
regulations, and after they have done with that, they dump them.
They divorce. Now there is an agreement between the woman and the man before they get into that arrangement. You see, in that case, there's not going to be something like body touching or.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying colloquially. They
Okay.
term it constitutional marriage.
Well,
But that means when they are living apart. So the distance relationship or the vacuum created by distance marriage, these are some of the things that it brings. It creates a lot of trouble for both the men and the women too at home. Because if you have your wife with you, you cannot tell your wife you're going to do that kind of constitutional marriage or whatever you call it. You can't do that. And the woman too cannot do the same.
exactly.
Yeah. But the vacuum that creates, that comes, with the distance marriage or distance relationship, these are some of the things that it brings to the couples. And it's, you can't help it, but it's just unfair. So,
You can't help it, but it's just unfair.
Yes.
Mama Naomi, Mr. Gigi says it's worked for some people in order to get their things right so that they can live in the country to work free. What do you think?
Well, for me, I think that is selfishness, yes. Or maybe if you are honest enough to tell the woman you want to get married to get your papers, that okay, I want to marry you just to get my papers, and she also agrees
Who would
that
do
there's
that?
not going to be any
Mommy, who would
kind
do
of
that?
romantic relationship with us, and the person
Who
says
would do
okay,
that?
then that's one. Well, but per se, I'm going to marry you and do everything marriage people do in the name of getting papers, and most of the time the women are not aware
Yeah.
that you are marrying me only because of the papers. After that, I'm going to be done, and this is wickedness.
Recently
It's
a
wickedness.
friend of my husband went through this, and he thought he just want to be smart to get the papers done, and he left the wife home. I think initially talked with the wife, and the wife said no, because you will not follow this paper thing and sin against God. I will not agree.
were they living together?
No, staying apart. And then that man went ahead and just got married and got his document fine. He went back home. And the woman said, you cannot touch me. I will not. So now they have divorced. And the guy still loves his wife. But because of this condition, they have separated. He has 2 kids, and there is so much burden on him, because the woman that he's living with right now, he doesn't love the woman, and even the woman too, after giving birth, he doesn't love the man again. But it has become a problem. He has lost the precious one, and then the one that he is living with, he doesn't love him.
So like his mind was to go and bring that
This is
one
Jafric
to
Radio.
come and live together with the one who gave him
After
the
he-
papers, or to
After
live.
he has got everything, then he divorce and bring her. And that woman said, you have made a choice.
Yes,
So,
it is a choice. You have to
You
live
have
with the
made the
consequences.
choice. I won't allow you to break somebody's daughter's heart. So go ahead and marry your wife. And let me be.
Did he tell her that it was a constitutional type of marriage or
She told her initially, and the woman disagreed
Okay.
to that. That he will not.
You see, these are some of the things we are talking about. That once you live separately or you live at distances, mistrust, no two ways will set in.
But this one is not mistrust, or
Of course, the woman did not trust the guy.
the guy said,
No,
I want
Mr.
to
Fry,
marry.
he
said,
just
I want to
the guy was sincere initially told the woman that I want to marry
get my papers.
to get my papers,
And
and
he
the
did.
woman said
no.
no.
Yes.
I will not agree
Why
to
did
that.
Yes. Because for her, it's unfair, right?
Yeah, she said it's unfair for
Yes.
you to marry somebody's daughter
Yes.
because of this and get what you want and later dump that woman. It is not fair. So
Yes.
don't try it.
Yes.
And the guy too think that he doesn't work where he, I mean, it's like,
No,
then
well,
what
that
is
means
the point?
it wasn't a
of-
constitutional marriage. Maybe the guy really married that
He
woman.
really married that woman.
Then it's a separate story.
He really married that
Yes,
woman.
if he really married her,
And Mr. Fred, the constitutional one that you are talking about, I don't know, but it's not as
The women
more-
are not aware. Or
no, they are.
the women are
Yeah,
aware
that's why I
that I'm
said
coming to
colloquially.
marry.
most that's not most are not
Colloquially- no,
aware.
colloquially, they are. They are aware. If not even only in this country, it's done. Even it started in Europe, America. They do. You see, they talk on the issue and pay some money, to one another.
But I think that one is
But
rude.
like when you are
We just
discussing,
want-
like the one
It's
you are,
very rude.
like the
I
one you
know
are
what you
talking
mean.
about, maybe it took a rare merit. They actually married.
Yes.
If you actually married, then you have married her, and definitely you've sort of divorced the first one.
Yeah.
In that case, that woman is right to insist on the right that you cannot cheat that woman. In
That's
that case,
right.
she's right. But here is the case: people go into that kind of what they call the constitutional marriage.
But Mr. Fred, that constitutional thing, I don't think it's something that
They talk
let's
about
say it's not good, but I am talking about where like these temptations comes in and others fall to it. Like for instance, this is what I'm talking about. The friend, he got married, right? And the current lady that he are married doesn't know that this guy has wife and children.
Even children.
Right.
This is Jafric
That's
Radio.
unfair.
Yeah. So
For that one, it's unfair.
going back and he wanted to make the home one work. And the lady said, no, you can't fool me.
Well.
And can't fool somebody's also daughter. So if you have made your choice, go ahead and marry her.
Yes.
And meanwhile, the guy doesn't love the current wife.
Right, just imagine.
So
you should
now
live
it
with
has
the
become a problem.
The consequences that has come up with it, and also,
All
yes,
right,
let
mommy,
you-
just hold on
Okay,
and let me
okay.
read the comment that has come and then later you continue. Oh, I have Nana Jua. Nana Jua said, you need only trust.
It's true.
And then Yao Kids said, hello, lovely program. You guys will make my marriage grow up well and lovely. Mama Naomi, I love your comments. God bless you. And then Nanajo again said, I miss you, Sister Naomi. I don't know which Nana. Hey, Uncle Yaya is here.
Hey,
Uncle Yaya say
Mr. Yaya.
kudos. Okay, Mr. Yaya, thank you so much. And then Mr. Yao again says, it's happened a lot in abroad. And they say you don't need to marry someone you don't love. Mr. Yao again said, you do not need to marry someone you don't love. Yeah, because you think he can just, I mean, this is, I don't know that we call it conditional type of thing. He just wanted to get something from him.
Yes, that is
That-
selfish,
that's
and that is
why.
not love.
Yeah,
we need
yes.
to
Yeah,
go
that's why
back
she said
to it.
conditional marriage.
Yeah, we go back
That
to
is
it. Love,
conditional.
Yeah.
love is kind. Love is not selfish. It does not seek its own. Those kind of things. We have to always keep it on our mind. And you were asking about
Yes.
the temptations.
The temptations.
Yeah, the temptation.
Yeah.
I try to ask some colleagues at work about this kind of this thing. What are some of the temptations that
This is Jafric Radio.
distant marriages, and most of the things that people talk about was sexual temptation.
Exactly. That's what that
Sexual
one is very,
temptation,
very-
yes. And one person was asking that, so in that case, how should people overcome or fight against that kind of temptation sexually? When there is a distance and you have this temptation of how do they how do you overcome such things? So maybe let's talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. How do you
What was
overcome?
the answer
Yourself.
given to the
Well,
lady?
in my case, you need to be open to your husband or
Okay.
maybe your wife. That maybe, oh, these are some of the things that are coming my way. Or what should I do about it? You should be sincere with your husband
Okay.
or your wife, that these are some of the advances I'm getting and those kind of things. And also to I seems I said it earlier on about communication.
Yeah.
Try to communicate more, try to build your trust more, reassuring each other more with such things. I think it will help. That was my this thing, and I also made a promise that I will bring it on board so that
Okay.
maybe if people have other comments
Comments
about
on
it,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
in my case, I
So
think
viewers,
should be
if you have
sincere.
comments,
Yes,
just
you should be
bring it
sincere
up.
with your
Mr.
partner
Yaya, are you
about
there?
what is going on.
Mr.
So
Fred,
that is my opinion. You should
do
just
you
be
have something
sincere.
to say about it?
Well, for me, I think it's the mindset. Yes, because like we've been saying, if you trust your wife or if you trust your husband and you live separately, then you should have your mindset that sexual relationship is not going to be there
It's not
for
going to
that
be
period
there.
that you're not together.
That's right.
So you have to set your mind straight there.
Exactly.
So anytime that it begins to erupt within you, you suppress it. Well, we eat sweet things. Just eating sweet things, drinking sweet things can sometimes suppress it. Well, that's a feeling.
Oh, okay.
And you
Oh, can you come again so that people like
Yeah.
some brothers who have been through this
no.
for
Well, that
can
one is not.
just
It's not
eat
100%.
sweet things.
Like
in
That
order
is not a solution. But well, for me, I attended a boys' school, so that's what we were doing mostly, and it has helped us even until today. We eat sweet things, get into listening to music, and all sort of things, or get into some friends
Yeah,
and
so it means
so
that you
if
have
you
to
listen-
engage yourself in
in
different
activities to
that
take
to
your
take
mind
your
off
mind
the
from-
sexual
exactly.
activities.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I think that
yes,
one it works.
because for that temptation, no two ways is going to come.
Yeah.
And if you're a man, you always try to avoid where there will be women, where you'll be seeing women a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
It's not easy. Oh.
it's not easy. The temptation,
Yeah, so that's why it's saying it's from the mind. So you make
yeah, the
Yeah.
mindset. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like talking of avoiding women. I mean,
No, avoiding them doesn't mean like when you're sitting here, you run away. No, but things that can get you into,
okay.
getting into the mood. You can avoid that situation. That's what I'm talking about. And mostly, your mindset is number one.
Especially during summertime that you meet some ladies with these short skirts and other things if you are a man.
When we were here,
And your wife is not around.
sometimes there used to be something called reggae splash every summer in Japan. That was the time we were young. We were going to all these reggae splashes, concerts, right? And it was an open area. When we go there, what do? Frankly, we go there to look for women when we were young. And how would you get them? Look, they expose themselves a lot.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they will just squat down and you see all the body exposing. With this, you'll be tempted to what? Go after her.
That's right.
That was when we were in school days. You see, so what we're talking about is when you
Avoid
set
all
your
those
mind, you try to avoid such situations.
Yeah.
Otherwise
You'll
you'll
fall.
be tempted.
You fall.
Yes, you fall.
Wow.
So
So if I should get Uncle Fred right, set your mind on your goal.
set your mind
Exactly.
on.
Just set your
yes,
mind
the
straight.
mindset, yes, is important. Your man is not around.
Yeah.
Your wife is not around. So sexual relationship.
It's out.
Well, you can say so, but it's going to take some time before you can get into that action. So you set your mind. That's number one. Then your eating habits. Like I said, well, a lot of guys will eat sweets. A lot of women will do the same thing. Then the third thing too, you can engage in activities that can take off your mind.
That's right.
Listening to some music, and you try to avoid situations that will,
Tempt you.
let's say,
Tempt you.
lustful situations.
Yeah, like
Lustful situations.
pornographic movies and
Yes.
graphics
For me, when I was working at studio as an engineer, we were doing a lot of this pornography things. Like I said, we were doing magazines and catalogs that advertises people's women. And believe me, some are naked and all those kind of pictures were there. But I said to myself, this is not where I belong to.
That's right.
So my mind wasn't there. So sometimes when you see a lot of these guys, especially these Japanese guys in group, be talking about particular photo, be laughing, making this, then after they'll say, we're going to Nomiya. You know, that means somebody is in mood. But I said to myself, well, this is not what I'm after. I don't have to go there, you see. So the first thing is to set your mind. The mindset is important.
It's number one.
Yes.
It's number one.
It's number one.
Yeah, I've been there before, and if sometimes I'm still in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
And
you avoid situations.
Exactly.
Yeah, that will be tempting.
That's the only thing that I do.
So I think with all with this one, to add that temptation that will come, if your mind is set on your goal, those kind of things, it will come, but you not even
you
notice
will not
it.
even notice.
Yes,
Exactly.
because you know, and always if you're a man or woman, believe that your husband or your wife is the best for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes,
You
if
are
you are
right.
setting in your mind, yes, you believe that my wife is the best for me. So there's no need, to go for.
So with or without, you have to.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Know that
It's true.
she's always the best. I always have the best somewhere. So there's no need, Yeah. So it all comes down to.
One guy said, if you have articulator who can load a lot of things for you, why do you chase after the taxis and other things?
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
And one
that's
last
good.
question and then we close for the day. I think it's just like 4 minutes to go. Others also, the sexual temptations that we are seeing. I heard that others also do that. They had sex on phones, like, let's say, what did they call something sex?
yeah, I can.
Yeah. They
Sex
just
by telephone, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So
Especially with this modern mediums that
exactly.
you can turn into camera and see yourself.
So and then is it proper?
The more you do that, the more you get yourself in trouble. The more you hurt yourself. You see? The more you do that, the more you hurt yourself. Especially the men, you'll be tempted to do something they call masturbation, whatever.
Yeah.
And that won't help you.
That is it.
So
because you are going to hold yourself.
Exactly.
For that one,
So the best thing is you set your mind and you always try to avoid it. You see? And even if you have to talk to your wife on the phone, bring in conversation that will not bring that attraction.
Great.
You see, there are a lot of things that you can do, you see, but if you leave yourself, then you're going to fall into that temptation because this camera thing, you just turn it on and she will do whatever.
A whole lot of things has come
People are
on
doing
I
it.
today.
tell you. Yeah.
So really, as you have to, every decision you make comes with
I
its
think somebody
consequences.
is asking Mr. Fred question. Maybe let's finish that one.
Okay.
And then Miss Tony Inti said, "Hello, Jafric, great job." And he said, "Why, Mr. Fred?" I don't know what is.
Maybe why it's not good to indulge. Is that it? Maybe the person should come back.
Yeah, please, Mr. Tony, let us know what do you want to say about because we have talked about a lot of things. And which one are you referring to?
Okay.
So please let us know.
As I was saying, every decision you take comes with its consequences. And you have to learn to live with the consequences that comes up with it. So once you have decided that, okay, I have agreed that my husband or my wife should go somewhere for some reason that we have talked
This is
about,
Jafric Radio.
you have to live with the consequences.
That's right.
To sacrifice and stay with every disadvantages that it comes with. Yeah, so it is the mindset. And as he said, I think last week too, Pastor also made mention of this mindset. My mind my mind told me that I will never do anything to disappoint my wife. I will never do anything to disappoint my husband. My mind is set. Even if I go through the fire or whatsoever,
Yes.
I'm going to achieve that goal. So if you
Exactly.
make your mind up, I think yes, the things will come. Sometimes because of where you are going, you will not even see the attraction. Your mind is just focused on where you are going. So I think we need to work on our minds.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is very important.
All right. So, Mr. Fred, your final words, and then we just.
Well, my final words is still it takes discipline to accomplish even your mindset. You must discipline yourself before you can, So, if you happen to live apart from your spouse, your wife, if it's not for educational reasons or not for work reasons, well, for me, I don't advise that. That is a good way to live at a distance with your wife. But if for educational reasons or for work or some maybe conditions or situations that you couldn't control occurs, then the first thing is to build trust between you and your distant wife. And by doing that, you, the man or the woman, you have to set your mind that the vacuum that is created is going to cost you a lot. You'll be tempted, and by that, set your mind that especially things like we talk about sexual relationship is not going to be there for some time. So stick with your commitment. That she's the one best for you, and he's the one best for you, and always trust your own commitment. That is the best decision that you have made, so you don't fall into temptation.
Great.
Yes.
And also avoid bad friendship.
So
Exactly. Those that just give bad counseling. Just I quite remember I went through a lot with a woman that I trusted so much. She was a Christian woman, which I know that, I mean, the day that this thing came out of her mouth, I was like, am I dreaming? It was a shock to me. Yeah. So I decided to, just have my distance from her in order not to put me into temptation that I will regret later. So there are a group of friends which when they you have to avoid them in order to stay faithful, and shouldn't do anything that will let your husband or your wife trust you any less. Yeah, I think that one is good.
And
So
also,
Mama Naomi, just yeah.
So everything starts from Genesis. So for us to overcome this kind of troubles that maybe distance might create, those, if you are with your husband, with your family now, please create time. Create time for your family. It is a holistic thing. Don't concentrate too much time on one thing, neglecting the other. We need to guard our hearts. The devil is at war, and please, we don't have to lose our guard. Please make time for your family, both men and women. Don't be overwhelmed with work, with your choices, with so many things, neglecting your partner, your children, and other things. Please make time. Even if weekend you want to go and play with your friend, go with your family. Even if you want to
This
go
is
to the
Jafric
gym
Radio.
or to go and enjoy your sports or whatsoever, please
Go
do
with your
it
family.
together. Do it together. Yes, you have time. Also, as you are planning, yes, you don't forget yourself. Yes, you have to also make time for yourself. Maybe you discuss it together. Maybe this time I want to be alone to reflect or something. But don't do it to the detriment of the other aspects. Make time. Let us make time for each other.
Thank
That
you
is
so
my
much.
advice.
Let us
Yeah.
make time
Yeah.
with each other. Viewers, thank you for waiting. Thank you for being there for us all the time. We want to thank but let's say ladies first, Mama Naomi so much for her wonderful submission and contribution to this topic. And Mr. Jechi, God richly bless you for the kind of knowledge that you've exhibited here. Thank you so very much. And
Thank you.
I always say my name is Abena Poma Pokufuku. You can call me Dickness. Somebody says happy anniversary. I will tell
Happy,
you
happy,
why.
happy.
I will tell you why. Okay, so that's brought us to the end of today's program, Home Sweet Home program. Okay, so very soon, Hour of Divine Inspiration will come on. So please don't go away. When you go, just come up quickly because we have a lot for you. The weekends of Jafric Radio, please don't ever miss it because when you miss a lot. Right. Thank you so very much. And don't forget that Jafric Radio has an app. We have an app, okay? And this app, you can even come in or anytime you want to visit Jafric Radio. And what we want you to do is that if you are using the Apple phones, just go to Apple Store and download, Jafric Radio, and then you will see the icon on your phone on your computer. Or if you are using Android, you can go to Google Play or Google, and then you download Jafric Radio, and the same process will come on your phone or your PC. Then anytime you click on, you get Jafric Radio on, and you don't see the pictures. The truth is, you will not see pictures. It's only listening. It's only radio type. So if you want to see pictures, then visit visit YouTube and all the social media handles. All right. Okay. So I just want to say thank you to Mr. Klebsy, our engineer for today, and the only inspector in town. And then I thank Mr. Kobe. He is the producer, and the executive producer for this program is Nana Yao Pop. Thank you so very much, my able panelists, once again. And so we meet again next week. And I want to wish Elder Ernest happy marriage anniversary.
Hey.
Elder, God bless you. In fact, you have been there for me all the time, okay? And I love you so much.
Wow.
This is my prince. I really love you. Okay? So until we meet again next week, let's say
This is Jafric Radio.
Hey, you like love.
and it's shop love.